The secret to living longer, feeling happier, and thriving in every aspect of your life comes down to just three fundamental pillars that science has proven, time and time again, are the foundation of human health. I'm talking about what you eat, how you move, and how you sleep. Simple, right? But here's the thing. Most of us are getting at least one of these wrong, without noticing, and it's costing us our health, our happiness, and even years of our lives. Today, we're diving deep into the science behind these three pillars: nutrition, exercise, and sleep. And by the end of this video, you'll understand not just why they matter, but how they work together like a symphony to orchestrate your well-being. The Healthy Dividend: Wellness Tips for a Richer, Healthier Life. Pillar number 1: food. Think of food as more than just fuel. It's information. Every bite you take sends signals to your cells, telling them how to function, repair, and thrive. Carbohydrates power your brain and muscles. Proteins build and repair tissues, create enzymes and hormones, and keep your immune system strong. Fats, yes, healthy fats, are essential for your cell membranes, hormone production, and absorbing vitamins like A, D, E, and K. But here's where it gets really interesting. It's not just what you eat, it's when you eat it. Enter chrononutrition, one of the most exciting areas of nutrition science right now. Your body has an internal clock, your circadian rhythm, and it turns out your metabolism is synced to it. Research shows that eating earlier in the day, what scientists call early time-restricted eating, can improve your weight control, blood sugar regulation, and even how efficiently your cells produce energy, without changing how much you eat. Why? Because your body is primed to handle food better in the morning and early afternoon. Insulin sensitivity is higher, glucose tolerance is better, and you burn more calories digesting morning meals compared to evening ones. In contrast, late-night eating throws your hormones out of whack, reduces insulin sensitivity, and promotes fat storage. Studies have even linked skipping breakfast to a 33% higher risk of type 2 diabetes. Now let's talk about your brain. The field of nutritional psychiatry has exploded in recent years, and the findings are remarkable. Diets rich in fruits, vegetables, whole grains, lean proteins, and healthy fats, think Mediterranean-style eating, are linked to lower rates of depression, anxiety, and cognitive decline. Omega-3 fatty acids, especially from fatty fish, have been shown to reduce depressive symptoms and support brain function. B vitamins help produce mood-regulating neurotransmitters, like serotonin and dopamine. Minerals like iron and zinc are crucial for cognitive processes and emotional stability. Here's the kicker. Your gut and brain are in constant communication through what's called the gut-brain axis. The nutrients you consume influence this connection, affecting your mood, stress resilience, and even how you think. So what happens when we neglect nutrition? The consequences are severe. Malnutrition, whether that's not eating enough, eating too much, or eating poor quality food, impairs your immune system, increases your risk of infections, and dramatically raises your chances of developing chronic diseases like diabetes, heart disease, and certain cancers. In your brain, poor nutrition disrupts neurotransmitter production, impairs the growth of new brain cells, and can even cause structural changes that lead to cognitive decline, mood disorders, and dementia. For kids, inadequate nutrition hampers brain development, academic performance, and emotional regulation. For older adults, it accelerates cognitive decline and increases vulnerability to neurodegenerative diseases. The bottom line? Nutrition is foundational. Prioritize nutrient-dense whole foods, align your eating with your body's natural rhythms, and your body and brain will thank you. Pillar number 2, exercise. Your body was designed for it, and the benefits? They're almost too good to be true. Regular physical activity is like a miracle drug for your body. It strengthens your heart and lungs, lowers blood pressure, improves insulin sensitivity, and optimizes your cholesterol levels by increasing the good HDL and reducing the bad LDL. It reduces inflammation throughout your body, supports healthy blood vessels, and helps you build lean muscle while burning fat. But let's zoom in to the cellular level, because that's where things get really interesting. When you exercise, your cells create more mitochondria, the tiny powerhouses that produce energy. Exercise helps your muscles absorb glucose more efficiently, reducing blood sugar spikes. And here's a big one. Exercise increases something called brain-derived neurotrophic factor, or BDNF, which acts like fertilizer for your brain cells, supporting learning, memory, and the growth of new neurons. Exercise also strengthens your bones and joints, improves balance and coordination, and reduces your risk of falls and fractures, especially crucial as you age. The World Health Organization recommends at least 150 minutes of moderate intensity activity per week. That's just 30 minutes, 5 days a week, or 75 minutes of vigorous activity. Think brisk walking, cycling, swimming, or dancing for moderate intensity, and running, HIIT workouts, or intense sports for vigorous. Here's the encouraging part. Even modest increases in activity make a huge difference. Studies show that replacing just 30 minutes of sitting with light walking significantly reduces your risk of death from all causes: heart disease, cancer, respiratory disease, you name it. Yet here's the sobering reality. Nearly 1/3 of adults worldwide don't meet these guidelines, and that number is climbing. By 2030, if trends continue, 35% of adults will be inactive. This isn't just a personal health issue, it's a global crisis. Now let's talk about your mind. Exercise isn't just good for your body, it's one of the most powerful tools we have for mental health. When you move, your brain releases endorphins, those feel-good chemicals, along with serotonin, dopamine, and norepinephrine, all crucial for mood regulation and emotional stability. That boost in BDNF we mentioned, it promotes neuroplasticity, helping your brain adapt, learn, and stay sharp. The research is crystal clear. Exercise is as effective as antidepressants for treating mild to moderate depression. It reduces symptoms of anxiety, PTSD, and even schizophrenia. Whether it's aerobic exercise, resistance training, or mind-body practices like yoga, movement-based interventions work across the spectrum of mental health conditions. So, what happens when we don't move? Physical inactivity is one of the leading risk factors for early death. It contributes to heart disease, type 2 diabetes, obesity, certain cancers, and neurodegenerative disorders like Alzheimer's. Being sedentary increases insulin resistance, damages blood vessel function, weakens your heart and lungs, and accelerates muscle and bone loss. Psychologically, inactivity is linked to higher rates of depression, anxiety, cognitive decline, and a lower quality of life. The good news? It's never too late to start. Studies show that adults who become active later in life, even in their 50s, 60s, and beyond, experience substantial reductions in mortality risk. Your body is remarkably adaptive. Whether you prefer walking, swimming, cycling, weightlifting, dancing, or yoga, find what you enjoy and make it a regular part of your life. Your body and mind will reward you exponentially. Pillar number 3, sleep. We spend about 1/3 of our lives asleep, and there's a reason for that. Sleep isn't downtime. It's when your body and brain do some of their most critical work. During sleep, your brain clears out metabolic waste through a system called the glymphatic system, essentially a nighttime cleaning crew for your brain. Sleep consolidates memories, moving information from short-term to long-term storage. It restores balance to your synapses, the connections between brain cells, so you wake up ready to learn and think clearly. Sleep is also essential for your immune system, helping you fight off infections. It regulates hormones, including those that control hunger like leptin, which signals fullness, and ghrelin, which signals hunger. When you don't sleep enough, ghrelin goes up and leptin goes down, making you hungrier and more likely to gain weight. For adults, the sweet spot is 7 to 9 hours per night. Both too little, less than 7 hours, and too much, more than 9 hours, are associated with increased risks of cognitive decline, dementia, heart disease, and metabolic disorders. Sleep isn't a luxury, it's a pillar of well-being. So, what happens when we neglect it? Chronic sleep deprivation has devastating consequences. Physiologically, poor sleep impairs memory, attention, and decision-making. It disrupts your metabolism and hormone regulation, increasing your risk of Alzheimer's, vascular dementia, obesity, diabetes, and heart disease. Sleep deprivation elevates cortisol, your stress hormone, impairs glucose metabolism, increases appetite, and promotes inflammation. Psychologically, lack of sleep makes you more emotionally reactive, irritable, and vulnerable to mood disorders. Insomnia is a major risk factor for depression and anxiety. In fact, sleep disturbances often come before psychiatric conditions develop, and they make existing conditions worse. For children and teens, poor sleep impairs learning, attention, and emotional regulation, and teens face a unique challenge. Their circadian rhythms naturally shift later during adolescence, making early school start times a serious barrier to getting adequate rest. For older adults, poor sleep accelerates cognitive decline and raises dementia risk. Here's the thing: sleep and mental health are bidirectional. Poor sleep increases your risk of psychiatric disorders, but mental health conditions also disrupt sleep, creating a vicious cycle. The good news? Interventions work. Cognitive behavioral therapy for insomnia, sleep hygiene practices like keeping a consistent schedule, creating a dark and cool sleep environment, and limiting screens before bed, as well as stress management techniques can dramatically improve sleep quality. Prioritizing your sleep is non-negotiable for your health. Now here's where everything comes together, and this is what makes these three pillars so powerful. They don't work in isolation. They're deeply interconnected, constantly influencing each other in bidirectional ways. Think about it. What you eat affects how well you sleep and how much energy you have to exercise. Exercise improves your sleep quality and regulates your appetite. Sleep controls the hormones that affect both your diet and your motivation to move. Let me give you some examples. Diets high in saturated fat and sugar are linked to lighter, less restorative sleep. But diets rich in fiber and micronutrients promote deeper, more restorative sleep stages. Eating late at night disrupts your circadian rhythm and impairs both your sleep quality and metabolic health. Regular exercise improves sleep onset, duration, and quality. It reduces insomnia and sleep apnea. And those brain-boosting chemicals from exercise, BDNF and endorphins, support both your sleep and mental health. On the flip side, when you're sleep deprived, your hunger hormone ghrelin spikes and your fullness hormone leptin drops, making you crave more food, especially high-calorie junk. Poor sleep also impairs glucose metabolism, promoting weight gain. And when you're exhausted, you're less motivated to exercise, and your performance and recovery suffer. But here's the exciting part. When you optimize all three pillars together, the effects are additive, sometimes even multiplicative. Studies show that combining dietary improvements, regular exercise, and good sleep hygiene is more effective at reducing depression and enhancing well-being than any single intervention alone. Time-restricted eating plus exercise yields greater fat loss and mood improvements than either one separately. This is the symphony of health. Each pillar plays its part, but together they create something far greater than the sum of their parts. So, what do you do with all this information? Let me leave you with some clear, actionable steps. For nutrition, focus on whole, nutrient-dense foods, fruits, vegetables, whole grains, lean proteins, healthy fats. Align your eating with your body's clock. Eat most of your food earlier in the day, avoid late-night snacking, and limit added sugars, saturated fats, and excess sodium. For exercise, aim for at least 150 minutes of moderate activity or 75 minutes of vigorous activity each week. Mix in aerobic exercise, strength training, and flexibility work. Find what you enjoy, tailor it to your abilities, and make it a habit. For sleep, prioritize 7 to 9 hours every night. Keep a consistent sleep schedule, even on weekends. Create a sleep-friendly environment, cool, dark, and quiet. Limit screen time before bed, and manage stress through relaxation techniques. And remember, it's never too late to start. Your body is incredibly adaptive. Small changes today can yield profound benefits tomorrow. The path to flourishing, to living a longer, healthier, more fulfilling life rests on these three pillars. Understand them, optimize them, and unlock your potential. If you enjoyed this content, please like the video and subscribe to the channel for more updates.